Hey guys, this is Tigress coming back to you with Overwatch. Well guys, if you are wondering why there's basically been like several different attempts to set up stream, I have no idea why it's taken me several attempts. It's basically taken me to reset my PlayStation to get this thing to work. Before I even started streaming this time, I was like, I'll just do a quick, 30, like, I say 30 second check. A quick 10-second check, if I can actually hear my own voice, then I'm fine, because it's getting annoying setting up streams after stream. Also, guys, if you can hear something in the background, it's my fan. It's hot in the UK, and quite frankly, filming, because I was filming last night for Saturday, that was painful enough. Like, literally, going into hunts, don't want to say too much because it gives away Thursdays video, and it will also give away Saturdays. If I remember, I'll talk more about it on Friday, in Friday's stream more than likely. If not Friday's, then Saturday's stream, depending on if I'm available, but more likely will be. But either way, I'll talk more about it near the end of the week. Yeah, it was just like getting in the hunt and then being hot, and then those hunts not going the way I wanted them to go. But yeah, so guys, happy 10th anniversary to Overwatch. I think I've said it a few times, I'm not 100% sure, I can't fully remember. But yeah, 10 years. It doesn't feel like 10 years to me, because when I look at something that I'm like, GTA 5, 10 years. But for me, I go to Overwatch and it's like, there was Overwatch from like 2016 to like 2022. There was Overwatch 2 from that to like beginning of this year, and then it's back to Overwatch. It feels weird. But either way, happy 10 years anniversary to Overwatch, and there's a bunch of loot boxes. I was about to say, only one legendary out of a guaranteed legendary box. I was going to be annoyed. You know what? Don't hate it. I willingly don't. I am guaranteed at least a legendary, whether it'll be one or two, I have no idea. Rainy day? Not the worst skin in the world. I kind of like it. More than likely. Okay, be the next one I get. I'm gonna open the anniversary loot box first. I'm happy I got the Widow's skin. I've wanted it for a good while. Now, I have no idea what's in this 10th anniversary. 4 legendary skins guaranteed per box, contains legendary skins from... so it's basically just a case of, like, you guarantee... Vampire Bat, I'll take that. They're all new, too. I'm not the biggest fan of that skin, but again, it's a free legendary, so I'm not going to whinge too much. I've seen that skin looks goofy. I've seen it a few times, but I forgot they existed. I'm pretty sure I have the other variation of Ribbit. I think there's a green and gold one. But either way, happy 10 years anniversary to Overwatch, and just to double check to make sure I'm not thinking... Yeah, Hibbity Hop, there's a gold version, which I've never liked. I don't know why, it looks way too shiny. Like, I don't even think it looks sparkly and shiny, I just think it looks way too gold. But Ribbit, I don't hate, but I'm still not the biggest fan of those legs. Like, don't get me wrong, actually. Like, again, don't get me wrong, technically speaking, in his original, they kind of do look a bit more bulkier, and I've never been the biggest fan of them. His Overwatch design still has that, but a lot more covered up, and it doesn't look as bad because of the shorts. Again, not the biggest fan of the, we're going to give you bulkier legs sort of thing. But, yeah. Now, new for the shop, there are a few things, and some things did get spoiled. The Apocalypse Warriors Mega Bundle, unfortunately, was one of those things. I did know about Ramatra, and I'm happy Ramatra's getting some newer skins, because it has been a good while. I do like it, and I do think it suits him. I'd quite frankly be happy with Ramatra looking like that, because it looks cool. Not cool that I want to spend... Oh yeah, 50 quid, no. No, yeah, 50 quid. Not cool enough that I want to spend 50 quid on it. Because I'd get 6,900, but there's none. See, what is annoying is that there's none that's like 5. Like, see, I wish there was a custom option where you could select how many you wanted and say per 100 you paid like a quid or something. And I think it would be generally nice. But I know why Overwatch would never do it. But yeah, I kind of do really like the skin. Again, if I get a legendary loot box, I get a legendary loot box at some point, but I don't know whether these will. This Reinhardt skin I do like. I would have honestly been fine with this being his mythic or being an updated variation of his mythic. The fact that it looks like he's got gold just dripping down, it looks cool. This is personally probably the coolest Ventures ever looked, and I kind of want it. Now, I do have enough to get potentially a skin. No, just under. My birthday is next month, and I will be sorting things out for my birthday by within this week. Because basically, guys, what I do for my birthday is anyone who does give me money, I basically ask, can they give it me before June? Just for the simple reason of, then if I want to go and buy something, I'm then not thinking on my birthday, oh, I wish I could, oh, that would have been nice to pick up. That would have been nice to pick up, and then waiting. And there's a few things that I do want to pick up. Gotta say, I do actually like the skin for Emery. It looks cool. Same for Anna. As one of the few characters that I could see as a bad guy or as like evil, just from a few subtle differences. The Music Festival Mega Bundle is here. When did I get shuffled? This is either returning or because I have no idea when I picked up Shuffle. Starman Mercies, because I think this is returning skins. I don't hate it, not the biggest fan of it. I personally prefer the Mercy skins. Like I've got two good Mercy skins recently. I prefer both of them. One being an updated mythic, one being her bunny hop skin. Ash, I do kind of like, and I do honestly imagine Ash would go dressed like that, and then some random dude would walk up to her being like, "Hey, let me buy you a drink," and then she'd just be like, "Hey, meet my friend," and the friend would just be Bob. Farah, I do think looks cool, to a degree. Sombra fits it. It 100% works for Sombra. Same for Juno. There is a very few select characters in this game that you can do almost anything with the designs and it works somehow. Street Wars Mega Bundles, either backup or still there. I believe it's backup. The Overwatch World Cup, which is actually reasonable. This is just their base skins, but World Cup wise. A portion of Blizzard revenue from sales of items from the OWOC conference crowdfunding bundles will be contributed to the 2026 Overwatch World Cup prize pool. So from what I'm telling from that is anything in this will basically be chucked into the prize pool. Which is actually nice of Overwatch, not just to pocket it. But there are moments when Overwatch do things like that I'm like, you're not completely evil. Like, Overwatch aren't evil, they are just dicks at points. Like, no offense to you, Lot Blizzard, but there have been points where, like, the fact of your comp system for years needed work. Like, getting back in Overwatch, it wasn't too bad, I will admit it wasn't the best player in comp then. I did definitely improve, and then it just stayed terrible for years. Same for the supporter bundle. So you got the two support bundles, and I've got to say, I kind of prefer these. Widow looks cool. So does Vandella, cooler than what she originally did. I think these colours just work with Bella. And it actually also looks kind of cool. I'm somewhat surprised Emery's getting two skins, but this is an epic, so not too surprising. And I do like Moira, I just think the purple arm looks a bit weird. I personally think the purple arm would have worked a bit better with these skins. I would personally have a swap out Soldier or Serena for Moira, because I think the purple arm would work a bit better with the purple compared to completely sticking out with the green. Like, I'm looking at these and being like, oh, there's Moira. And then you've got this one. Mizuchi, not the biggest fan of that. Anrin's, I think I might have seen in the game. Not 100% sure, I don't think I have. And, she's a character who I think you can do most, and I don't completely hate this. And again, just my personal opinion when I say you could chuck almost anything at these particular characters and do anything weird with the designs, and I think it would still work. I don't completely hate it, I just think it looks a bit plain. Life Weaver's is weird. Genji's, I think the only annoying part is probably the orange at the head. If that had been a complete gunmetal, I think it would have been fine. And Diva's, I think, does willingly work. And I did not pay attention to any of these earlier because I do briefly check the shop beforehand. The White Rabbit Mega Bundle is still up. Only skins I do personally think are kind of worth getting from this is Juno's and Mercy's. They're the only ones who I'm like 100% look cool. Briggs looks weird in a few different ways. Scratch that. Dominus also looks kind of cool. Raging Rabbit also does look cool, so there's like a few of them that I don't think I've completely had. Something just looks wrong with Zarya's. And again, Juno, like, personally, if you can only get, say, one, if you can only get one, Heavenly Hop is personally my favourite, but I think Space Button is also cool. So I'd go for those two, and then I would go Raging Rabbit and Bunny Business. And then I would go Bash Bunny, and then Sabrinian Hair. I just think Zarya's is the worst out of them all. I think she got the short straw when it came to it. The What If Mega Bundle is still up. And then you got the Date Night Mega Bundle. Again, I think I said this a couple weeks ago. Malga weirdly reminds me of Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother. I completely forgot who the actor is again. Because there was a play because he was basically known as the sort of scum when it comes to dating wise. Like, his friends loved him and they did miss him if anything happened to him. But he did some dumb and stupid plays on women just to spend the night with them. And one of them was the Scuba Man. And it turned out just to be a case of where he got his friend to basically pity him, and then after he won the girl off, was like, he's actually a really good dude, all that lot. And they all find out at the end, and it's like, that can't. Like Barney Stinson with like Ted Mosby, Robert Sabatsky, Marshall Erickson, and Lily Aldrin. They all have a unique thing. Marshall. See, I don't want to just say Marshall's just the attorney. We'll do one quick round of open queue, and also, guys, if you haven't... yeah, I kind of want to cry. I'll do one round, then I'll jump into roll you, just to basically prove my point again. But Marshall is the attorney, but he's also kind of... I don't want to say the more sensible one, because he 100% isn't. But he's kind of just a dude who you phone when it's like, hey, I need you to come in, no questions asked. Like, I just need you here with no questions asked. He's the dude you phone up when you need something, and you don't want anyone knowing about it. Lily's kind of just the nice, but not necessarily innocent one in the group. Because of her and Marshall basically only ever been each other's thing. Like, they've only ever been with each other. A lot of the stories that, Lily goes to tell in the show turns up as a case of, oh, so Marshall likes doing this and this. And it's like, it kind of backfires. Ted is kind of the more... I don't necessarily go for saying nerdy because it's not 100% accurate. But, like, he's a big architect person because it's his job. And he can full on just go into a conversation about it without even trying to. And to throw shade, just because I can, Robin is the Canadian one. And that's not me throwing shade, that's the full on fact that the show does make several jokes about her being from Canada. Not the actual actress, but in the show, Barney makes several jokes about, you know, Robin being from Canada. Yeah, ends up going and marrying her, ended up being part Canadian himself. But yeah, like, the scuba just reminded me of that. Although, I think, guys, I also think I might have had a few things I can, like games I've got lined up for after I complete Monster Hunter Wilds. Nah, yes, I'm only on Rise in a month. See, I'm at the point in Rise where I'm like, okay, I've probably only got like 6 or 7 more, like 6 to 8 more episodes.
Select your hero.
Just roughly guessing, not including this week's. See, I kind of would like to play DPS considering I know I'm going to get tank and support. Zari's not too annoying on this map. Jetpack Cat is, and I don't want to deal with Torbjorn. Guys, I will say, there are several characters that I will willingly say. I tried to pick one from each. Jetpack Cat can be annoying, especially on maps where he can pick you up and just drop you. But he can also... What the hell is that ranking game? But he can also be used to the team. Gonna see where everyone goes first before... I've got people in here that I've not placed yet. Because part of me is like, I 100% want to play Anran. Just because the 2 other games I'm going to end up doing will be Roll Queue, and I'm saying I'm calling it now. The first game I jump into will either be tank and support, and then the game after that will be one I didn't get into. Because I need to do those 3 games at some point, and I've only done the 1 out of the 3. And that's just because of the case of on stream, there was no way in hell I was doing it on stream, waiting 6 or 7 minutes, trying to get into a game. Yeah, no, I checked that in on Sunday's video. Oh look, guys, I'm saying there's roughly like a couple months left. Depending on how the weather is, I could still potentially be on Wild come July. Like, because something I will mention now that I did end up saying in Saturday's video, that will end up saying in Saturday's video, more than likely is, I just get cut, is depending on how the weather is, because how, like, I get hot as anything filming, and like, if this is what the weather's gonna be like, I'm cutting, content down to, cutting out Monster Hunter, cutting out those 3 recordings, and going down to the 2 streams in Craftmon for a week, or until it at least cools down. And the reason I did that instead of basically just cutting out 2 streams in Craftmon, or just can't access something like Craftmon is, Craftmon, if I need to, I can get that filmed in about 45 minutes. I can easy enough think of something, or I can do a minor little thing that won't take me that long. Monster Hunter, at bare minimum, we're talking over an hour, at bare minimum. And I can't always guarantee with Monster Hunter that I'm gonna get into hunts quick.
Do it properly this time.
And yes, you could just say, dude, why don't you just keep your fan on like you are for stream tonight? It's more annoying when it comes to recording. Like, I am honestly gonna just basically see, because I did from Saturday's video just shove it on for a point. A couple of points will end up getting edited out. But again, it was just boiling hot. Guys, it was hot, like, it was hot earlier to a point where because I was like, what, can I hear rain? I thought I heard thunder too, and I'm like, I was right, I did, and I'm like, can I hear rain? It turns out it'd been raining. I was cracking, I was happy as anything. I was like, yes. I was like, yes. Please chuck it down in raid. And it was just great. I couldn't have been happier. And guys, the reason I don't really mind rain, like, if I had to deal with rain every single day for like 4 or 5 hours during the day just to have a cool night, and willingly knowing the fact that I would be going out in the rain if I needed to go out, I would willingly deal with that, because a fun true story from back when I was in college, me and a mate did different days even though we were in the same course. He was a level above me. No, I was at the beginning stage because my grades weren't great from high school, so... Because in UK, the way it works is you still, like, you know, you leave at the age of 16 from high school. Whether, like, you would have passed or not. Because if you did still get hot bag, even if you didn't pass, yeah, I know a couple of people that still would have. Damn it. Oh, I pulled the same. Guys, earlier I saw an Amram player basically ult into a Diva ult, and I was like, oh god, no. And yeah, I kind of did the exact same thing. Except in my case, I thought I could have potentially got away with it, but I was low on health. Stupid move on my end. I will willingly admit it. And, but yeah. There was a day that, because I wasn't doing college, because my days in college were Monday all day, Wednesday all day, and Friday up until 3, and then Tuesday 3 to 4. It was basically just an hour where we came in and we had to catch up and all a lot, and we didn't do proper work. And a bunch of us didn't have clothes, and we were like in the barely end of it. Like, I would show up on the odd occasion, I didn't always. That was more than once where my mate was like, just go home, and it's like, fair point. Because it was annoying, because I was basically then, because it was at the beginning where I'd be going into college from 9. Okay, nice. I'd be in college from like doing a full day. And it was just pointless. The point then when I did end up just jumping on my bus something later, because I don't live close to my college, and so I was basically would. So I did get to sleep in slightly, and it was nice. The only odd occasion I did go in early, and one of these days I did, thinking I could go into I can go into my room, sit and do, just sit and on the computer for like a couple of hours. Why? Because a mate, because another one of the tutors with a group above, with the level above us, did a D&D session. This was before I would play D&D, because back then, and I do kind of still stand the point on this. Why I don't completely do think D&D is a nerds game. I do think at its core, some of the things that you will find in it is definitely a case of people go, oh, I wonder if this can be done, and it's... But again, the only reason I don't consider it like a nerd-only game, no guys, I'm not saying nerd as a bad thing. I'm using it as a case of most people aren't. Now again, most people aren't going to willingly want to play D&D. Now, I don't mind it because there's a creative side of me that I do love using, that I do love getting a chance to use, that I don't always get the chance to use. In D&D, creating a character and that lot, I do. There has also been a few cool moments. But anyway, my mate would go and play D&D. And I would basically just be in my classroom, and the room that I was in for media, because I did media studies, wasn't open this one day, and it was chucking it down rain. Yeah, I just walked around in the rain like an idiot. Now what I should have done is basically been like, hey mate, text me one, like roughly, it's like, so you're gonna get around. Okay, I'll heading around this time then.
He's always teaching me new tricks too. I bet. You're lucky.
But no, I went in early in the morning and got drenched for a solid 2-3 hours. And the only reason I went in to meet him was because
Oh shoot! I forgot to tape my Achilles again.
I'd only recently gotten to Yu-Gi-Oh at the time. Which is weird to think. It's almost been 10 years since I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And it has evolved a lot within those almost 10 years. Like, granted, there is no new summoning methods or anything in the game. Oh, great. But it wasn't the simplest things in the world to learn. Because the mate was like, yeah, well, I had to, like, because he had stopped, because this mate in question had stopped playing after, I think, about Synchro. So he's like, oh, I had to learn Exceed, Pendulum, and Link. And I think Exceed, Pendulum, Link, I had to learn Ritual Fusion, going from like 12 basics in order. I had to learn Tribute Summoning, Special Summoning, Ritual Summoning, Fusion Summoning, what I'm going to classify as Advanced Fusion Summoning, which is what I'm going to classify as taking a fusion monster and combining with another fusion monster, and just anything along those lines, and you know, all that lot. Synchro Summoning or Synchro forms being Excel Synchro Summon, Delta Synchro Summoning, and all that. I had to learn Xyz, rank up magic, how they work, and everything else that came with Xyz. I had to learn how links work. Nothing. I had to learn how pendulums work and how you need specific scales and all that lot, and depending on what scales you have, depending on what you can summon. But some pendulum scales limit you to specific things, and that everyone basically hates pendulums. They take up 2 space in your spell's trap zones, and they aren't as useful as you think, because most decks these days can, say if you can take special summon 5 cards out of your hand, which wouldn't be happening on any second turn. You can say you can special summon 5 monsters out of your hand. You have a card that allows you to draw 2 monsters or set specific 2 pendulum cards from your deck. What, like, let's say 5. That's 5 monsters. Most decks can special summon 6 or 7 times. Modern wise. I then had to learn link summoning, link climbing, and all the advanced forms of sometimes link monsters need other link monsters to link summon. Sometimes it's better to go into like a link 2 or link 3 to then link climb down to a link 1. I had to learn all that. So yeah, so I was there going, yeah, we really need to learn Exceed, Pendulum, and Link. Which I'd argue aren't that complicated. Pendulum, debatable. But Link, you take one monster plus another monster, and then you get a Link 2. Or you take, you know, Link is very simple in his system. You have one monster on the field, you can link summon Link 1. You have 2 monsters on the field, you can link summon Link 2. You have a Link 2 monster and another monster on the field, you can link summon Link 3. But if you have 3 monsters on the field, you can still summon Link 3. Arrow count towards arrows, per arrow on a Link monster is how many it's worth for a Link summon. And such and such. But again, I think these really is not complicated. Some cards you need rank up magic cards for, some cards you can get the Z summon from. It all does really damn you, Danya. But again, I'd argue Synchro Summon is more complicated because it's tuner plus non-tuner plus math. And trust me, no duelist wants to be doing that in the middle of a duel. Fusion's more complicated because some fusion summon monsters need specific things. You want to summon Flame Wingman, you better have Avian and Bestentrix in your hand. Although technically speaking, with Fusion, some of you have to say Shining Flame Wingman in your extra deck. You can summon Flame Wingman. Adrian Inferno Rage, you don't really need Avian Number Stone Tricks.
One more time.
Not the best. Actually, you want to summon Cyber Twin Dragon? You better have 2 Cyber Dragons. No, wait, it's all Cyber Dragons. You want to summon Red Eyes Dark Rune, a really powerful monster, you better have Red Eyes and Dark Magician either in your hand and Polymerization, or in your deck with Red Eye Fusion in your hand. Again, couldn't really think of any great examples. Because like Cyber Dragon, it's like, hold on, no way, I can guarantee now a pure Cyber Dragon deck that's focusing on summoning Cyber Twin, Cyber M, which they don't, couldn't easy enough do it, because I can guarantee now the only card they would be missing would be Power Bond or Polymerization. So, yeah. But Synchro, like, I love Synchro summoning, don't get me wrong. Definitely my favourite out of summoning methods. But, it gets complicated. From a couple decks making it complicated, did you know from Harpies you don't really need a tuner? Because you can treat one of your little Harpy ladies as a tuner. And with the tune, you can think for a summon. So yeah, so all the fun that you get from that. Got the guy! I mean, I held off as long as I could. But again, yeah, I would argue Synchro is a lot more complicated than Xyz, Pendulum, and Link. Although guys, for the most part, I did learn how to do from watching the anime. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Because originally, fun story here, and true story too, I grew up with the GX era. So Jaden Yukini is Elemental Hero. But I didn't know nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh! And I didn't know Yu-Gi-Oh! Existed. Back when I was around that, back when I was, 6 or 7. And I saw the odd episode, and I remember seeing the odd episode, but nothing too much into it. And so I just never thought nothing more of it. Come, 2019, when I get into Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, it's like, you should probably watch the anime too. Guys, I went from Silver 2 this season. I'm honestly probably stating the fact of when I say this, I probably will end up taking a break this season. There was 20 days left in this season. So that's what, 3 more games? The last one I probably won't do competitive. Next week maybe, but I don't know about the week after. And if I do, I potentially might end up just doing roll queue. Like I say, guys, more likely to get chucked in support than I'll do a game of tank, but I highly likely I'll get put in damage. But yeah, like I saw the odd episode, like the odd little bit from GX from a kid, and never knew it. I now roughly know the episodes I've seen, because I think they were from like season 1. And they weren't the full episodes either, they were just random parts of the episodes. Because growing up, it was a case of if you wanted to see like full Pacific episodes, you had to watch them when they aired. You couldn't just go back and watch them from the beginning. And slight bit of a diversion from the story. But then years later, I ended up getting Sky ended up getting put into my house. And I was like, oh my god, I can record so much. I'm never gonna miss another show again. I was just like, yes. And I was just happy as anything. Reaper got banned, Mago got banned, Moira and Sombra. Why Reaper? Oh, it's this map, isn't it? Oh god. I'm in support. And so then when I did, I started watching Duel Monsters. And I don't know what about Duel Monsters it was, but I did really enjoy Duel Monsters and learned most of it from there. Like, Battle City is still one of my favourite arcs, and I will take Duel Monsters GX and 5Ds over
Breaking me down just builds me up.
Reigns, over things like Zexal, Arc 5, and Reigns. Don't get me wrong, I love Zexal. But, like, one thing I was happy with Reigns was the case of they kind of stopped doing the dumb, stupidest names. Because there was a bunch of, like, more childish sounding names from Zexal from cards. And definitely in Arc 5, like, Yuya Sakaki had a load of pension cards that were like, perform how hippopotamus, and it's like, oh god. And like a bunch of other ones that I'm like, oh god, why? And so I'll happy to take those three. Granted, it could just be the fact of like they seemed a bit more mature. But yeah, so I then saw GX, and I was going to watch them all in order, and I think, because all of Reigns wasn't out at the time, I think what happened was, I think I was like, you know what, I'll watch Arc 5. And so I did, before seeing 5Ds or Zexal, and I'm like, okay, so why are they putting so much emphasis on these particular characters? It was a legacy-based season. Now, I love legacy-based seasons, or more specifically, legacy-based, you know, stings in shows. When they bring something back that's from the old days.
I can protect you.
Like, hey, for instance, Ben 10. Things I loved about that in Ultimate Alien was the reference to Kevin Levin's mutation back as a kid. The fact that how many references they made in UAF alone, so Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, for those who don't know, to the classic series. I love the amount of references that are made in GX to Duel Monsters, and to the fact that things like Pegasus and Kyber came back, and Yugi, and I believe, and Joey was mentioned by name. But I was just like, who the hell is like this Jack out there, and why should, you know, I'd be like, oh my god, he's in like this high level of duelist. And and you know, this Alexis Rowe, she seems cool. And this Tendra with is a Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon. And this Asta Phoenix just seems like a diff. Turns out, somewhat right. Alexis was a cool character, and she definitely went more archetypal in Arc 5. She did more rely on her Cyber Angels. Which, I'm begging you, please give me some good support. Like, all I would want from the Cyber Angels is 3 or 4 fusion monsters, or 3 or 4 extra monsters, whether they're fusion or link. I don't really give a shit. She came out in the fusion season, but she definitely did more come near the end to Ritual Summoner. Because yes, there are cards you can run an extra for Electric Road, but it's more visual support. And, you know, just more cyber for support would be nice. Oh, like, see, I'd love also to see, like, a White Knight deck, which I'll get into in a second. And, like, then when I watched, you know, 5Ds, I was like, oh my god, Jack Alistair is actually as cool as he comes. It's Red Dragon Archery, why not as cool as Starlight? But it's still cool. And, like, it's double tuning and everything. Because I prefer Starlight, like, I 100% prefer Starlight Red Dragon Archery over Red Dragon Archery. Like, Red Dragon Archery's the ability of, I will nuke your field for existing if you've not forced your monster, if your monster's not attacked. Like, if your opponent's got Swords Revealing Light up on the field, you can't do any more setup with Red Dragon Archery on the field. You either got to desynchro it and send it back to the extra deck, or not summon, or destroy it, or tribute it, or synchro it, or go into another monster. Which isn't as always as it seems. So, and then Kite Tenju, I was like, you're telling me in his whole I couldn't give a shit about your personality actually makes sense?
No sweat. Just try again.
Because again, I watched Arc 5 without seeing 5Ds, without seeing Zaxxor. And why it wasn't completely a case of why is actually being the biggest dick in the world. I was definitely like, why the fuck is Asta being a dick, more of a dick than he normally is? Because Asta Phoenix in GX is that one character that's like, you've got a similar deck to me. Because he calls her Jaden for having a similar deck to him. I'm sorry, since when does one person get to monopoly? Like, Asta Phoenix, like, would hate almost every single person these days. No one has a unique deck anymore. Oh, I took this, you know, this Vampire Lord and put it into my, you know, ace in this really unique deck that I just made. Now it's like, okay, so, if I take... Well, I need Branded Fusion, I need a bunch of other branded, I need the Despia cards. And I'll have a full branded deck. And, like, but again, getting to what I was going to say, if I can give each character Legacy support I would do. Now, I don't really care for most of the characters that use, what I'm going to refer to as White Knight based decks, and these are basically decks given to them by Sartorius. I'd want a two-pack, Alexis White Knight cards with some upgrades, Shaz's White Knight cards with some upgrades, now, in a perfect world, it would be nice to then also have it like a 3-pack and just have them dueling against Jaden's elemental heroes. But we don't live in a perfect world. So, I'll take what I can get. So that would just be cool. Although, something for a good while that I did believe, because up until 3-4 years ago, at most, it's definitely more recently, I never saw Season 4 of GX and Season 3 of 5Ds. Never had a way to watch it because it was never subbed. Not subbed, I'd never dubbed. It was only ever in Japanese. And I goddamn want Konami to do it. I get the reason why. I disagree with it. From what I roughly remember, I don't fully know how accurate what that state is accurate, but basically, it either was A, coming down to time, or B, they wanted to start pushing 5Ds and then pushing Zaxxor. But Zaxxor, like, no monsters, 5 seasons, finished. Plus several movies. Skipping, you know, GX and 5Ds, who also got Beyond Time, so we know there was other stuff that happened to him, and Season 3 wasn't the end for someone like Jaden, who you are made to believe, if you don't see the sub, if you don't see Season 4, because they also missed the last episode, because Jaden doesn't die at the end of Season 3 of GX. My spoilers, the show came out, 20-something years ago. Like, that show was airing back in, like, the early 2000s. So yeah, he doesn't, but because of Beyond Time, we know Jaden survives, and we know other stuff goes on with Yusei. And we know this Paradox person exists. He gets mentioned, I think, in potentially Season 2 of 5Ds, but he doesn't fully get a full thing until Season 3. But Saxo got a full ending, a complete ending. 5 did. Why we don't technically see the final episode, what would have been, that's because of a case of they never filmed it. So if you do want to see what would have happened, Yuya faces his dad in a duel, and he wins that duel. Now we know he wins that duel. Well, you can speculate he wins that duel. From a case of Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of Duelist, Legacy Evolution. In that, there is a duel where Yuya Sagaki, right after a duel Declan, duels against his father, and he wins that duel. Or at least in Legacy of Duels he does. But I also do believe he would have won that duel either way. With the fact that he's now got Pendulum summoning up to the peak of peak, and is now to the point of where it's going to take someone strong and skilled to take him down. Why his dad is a good duelist, I don't see him doing it. I do just think Pendulum summoning in this case, along with a G's Synchro Infusion, is too much of an advantage. Along with the fact that it's Dimensional Dragon. Jack Atlas was barely holding on, and was barely almost kicking Yuya's ass without the Dimensional Dragons on the field. Shay was struggling to keep up with the fact that when you had just odd eyes on the field. Because this was the point in the series where Yuya's Dimensional Dragons had caused so much harm. He didn't want to let them out in case he did it again. Although I'd argue, technically not his Dimensional Dragons. Like, you can't blame Odd Eyed, Dark Rebellion, Storm Venom, and Synchro Dragons, when it was the Supreme versions of them, which were themselves, but, Supreme King forced his will on them. But, yeah, so, So then, again, we then get a final ending in Reign. Yeah. The ending in Reign does end with the fact of, I'd want to see if Playmaker does find I'd love to see in a movie.
That's not gonna stop me.
Because I've talked about this in the past, I don't think Duel Monster needs a movie. I'd love to see one for GX. Same for 5Ds, where both Jaden and Yusei are getting closer with Alexis and Akiza. Because all they ever did with both series is imply there was something. And that's all they ever did do. They showed Yusei and Akiza going on a date, but that's about it. And even then, it's classified as not a date, and he's just ice skating with her to, improve her, turbo dueling. Yeah, I full on don't believe that. You're telling me you couldn't get someone to sign off on the fact of you actually going turbo dueling with her instead of having to show her on ice skates? Which I'd argue it could potentially be worse, because if you could snap your neck. compared to, you know, turbo-rolling, you do have a helmet. But anyway, I'd love to see a movie with both of them where it basically takes place at the end, where Jaden's friends need his help, and he finally gets the fact of he does need people's help, and that they're not just a burden, because through most of season 3, especially near the end, they were treated as one, which wasn't fun. And then he treated them like that in season 4, where say him and Alexis do team up, and it's, you know, Zane teaching him the lesson of, Jaden, you still don't get it. You seem to have endless potential because of people like Alexis, because of people like my brother Cyrus, because of your friends. Don't throw that all away, let them help you. And then for Zexel, I'd love to see a case of take place within, like, what happens when they go to, because all of his friends basically turn up being like, hey, Astro needs our help, so time to go. Do I think, you know, the first thing that Astro would do would be, Yuya, catch! Yuma, catch! And then chuck number 39 at him? Yes. Ooh, anniversary loot box. Wait, you can change it from that? But, like, same for Reigns. I'd love to see, I basically being in trouble and Playmaker being like, hold on, I, and then just holding out his, like, door disc and allowing I to jump on and just bring out, you know, something new. Like, having his field perfectly set up to say someone, Firewall Dragon, Tempest Terahertz. You know, his Link 5, Firewall Dragon. And just link summoning that. I think it would be cool. But to be fair, I'm always going to,
Select a map.
to see more, Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. Yeah, I'm gonna Queens. So only 5 people vote. No, 7. Yes.
Select your hero.
You don't know, Diva.
Select.
Also, guys, if you didn't see the video from Sunday, I mention this now because someone's choosing to play Reaper. I went to play Reaper, and someone asked them, I'm like, okay, I'll let you play Reaper. And then they clicked off, and I'm like, okay, I'll play Reaper then. Him and, like, 2 other people, one person changed their mind near the end. Of course, I got Torby in them. One person changed their mind, but then him and someone else were like, yeah, let's ban Reaper, and I'm like, you assholes.
Now arriving at Phoenix.
Like, if I know someone's trying to go to play a character, I don't purposely go out my way to ban them. How is support not being affected? Like, there will be people who will argue with the fact of banning Zarya makes no difference.
Time to save the spirits.
I'm about to say, in one game you can play Sombra because, again, she's not banned. It's like, no, wait, no, she is.
Maybe you should sit this one out and leave the kills to me.
I'll be fine once you shut
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Sombra gets banned because people can't deal with the fact of, because people don't want to deal with her. I'm not the only one to say it. A couple of people have said it. And I do overall agree with those points. If you can't deal with Sombra, then why are you playing the game?
Capture the objective.
Like, Although Sombra's so deadly. She can hack things and go invisible, and she has a, you know, semi-automatic pistol. An SMG more specifically. That's so deadly. Do you know how many characters I can counter that very easily? Anna with a sleep dart. Rick with a shield bash. From almost every tank. Most DPS because they'll have enough health to shoot back. Unless someone happens to catch him on an off point.
I'm not giving up.
A few supports. Kiriko can cleanse it. As long as it's not her that's been affected. Tracer can just add speed. Like, there are several characters that can. Damn it, they knew. Now guys, why I don't want to only be playing role QCOM, because trust me, it'll get boring. If comp is going to basically just be the case of... If comp is going to basically make World War II look nice, then I'm not going to be playing it. For the simple reason of, I don't want to be stressing out. Like, I already forgot about their loss at the beginning. Damn it. So like, I don't want to be jumping into comp if all it's going to do is basically get me being like, why the hell am I doing this? Now, I'm hoping next season will be different. Because guys, seriously, I can't think of a time where I've won a game in open queue or comp. Overwatch trying to turn around and say, oh, well, your rank was too high, so we're fucking you over because of it. Because it honestly does feel like I'm getting fucked. Not in the fun way. It feels like I'm basically being punished for something that I haven't done. Oh no, is my rank starting to become good Overwatch? How the hell that, they moved in, mate. Damn it. But yeah, it honestly does just feel like I'm getting punished for shit. Which isn't fun. I'm off the time. Which is kind of the reason why I won the Queen Street. It would have been a fucking mess. Well, I have the increased health and I have no team winning backing up, so I should be fine. And yes, I will. Yippee-ki-yay! Got fuck no Mac, no Mac! I'll take that. 10 kills, no dubs, decent bit of damage. Could have done better with my gated. Could have, but again, I was more focused on, you know, keeping them off point. Which, to be fair, worked out. Oops, sorry, look. I would be surprised that Wu Yang's in the front, but again, he's fast. But I'm faster. No. completely forgot to thank my support slot to thank the team for helping for the entire point. Okay, now I'm sniffing. It's all fun and games when you can just fly back at the hole that Roadhog tries to put you into. It suddenly becomes a lot more of a death trap when you can then fly your way out when you can. So that's it. Actually, you're being annoying at this point. Overpower! Oh, yeah.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Debuff.
What did she get the map? Okay. If Echo copies Diva out of mech, Echo should not get the map. And the argument therefore is in the case of she doesn't know what the mech looks like. How is she supposed to know what to do with it? Thank you, team. Right off now. The fact that I'm almost able to get back into match. I mean, we either win now or I go chuck a nuke on point and then win from chucking a nuke on point. Because they'll all have to scatter.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Roadhog.
I hate the fact when Echo uses her ult she gets 3 lives, no one else does. The only thing is now, Echo's kill is going to be classified as 2 kills compared to mine, which should have been from killing Echo. But no, she was in copy form. If I got up another ult, I'm going to be very much surprised, but I frankly wouldn't want to, I just want to clear a point. Oh boy, you did not just... Oh. Well, don't just kick Break did it once, doesn't mean you're doing it. How the hell? Was that Echo? No, that's Freya. How did she not die from that?
I'm not giving up.
Like, I don't want this round to go on another round. No, no, damn it. Come on, team.
You're underway.
Heroes never die.
Come on, team, hold out.
I am fully focused.
Victory. Yes. Mercy and both our supports. Yes, soldier. Yeah, I mean, you've had soldier in that. Even Roadhog at bay, dealing with Echo, dealing with Brig. Mercy at my vote. Her and Wu Yang kept me alive the whole game. There were 3 points where they weren't healing me. And her healing is, like, both their healings are decent. If not good. Compared to the enemies are, yeah. Slightly worse and slightly better, depends on which one you look at and who you compare them to. Like, if you compare the 9 to the 11, the 11's better. If you compare the 5 to the 7, the 7's better. Which does technically put my team up on ahead. But yeah, so guys, there are only 20 days left. Which is just under 3 weeks. It's 3 weeks counting today. And honestly, I can't wait for next season. Comp in this season low has been awful. I would like to get Throne of Upside, even though I won't be swapping my bounty hunter to it. If you want to get Anna's Mythic but don't have the Mythic points, UK price wise, it's around 30 something quid. It's not stupidly expensive, it's kind of affordable, but again, I'm standing on point when I say this. Overwatch, stop being cheapskates with us. Give us enough points to get both, or half the current points. Because right now, if you want to get both, you need to have a spare 10. No, a spare 20. Just to get the base layer for both. So yes, I could have, but then I'd be missing half the custom. And nothing new for lore. Oh, they put a Just You for a separate section. That's kind of cool. If we go to the Mythics, there is only 2 I am missing. There is Ra for Anna, which personally would have made more sense for Farah. Again, personally. And Maze. The only 2 mythics I'm missing. Because again, I was able to get Cassidy's and Doomfists. Back when Doomfist had just come out. So I think this was what, season 20? You get given enough points to get 1 mythic per season anyway. But Overwatch, start giving us enough to get 2. Or make it so you can earn them, because again, I'd love to have May's skin. I actually do like the skin. I'd love to have Anna's. I like Anna's. Like,
I will not leave a thunder's sky undrawn.
I don't know what colour I do prefer, but I'd love to have Annas. But again, to get Annas and Mercies made, you're talking 50 something quid. Unlock. For Stretch Shop, you're talking 100. Not 100, yeah, you're talking close to 100. You are literally 80 something quid to get to. Now, or do what I see. I was looking to get from the vault like 100 of them, which would meant I was able to. And the reason I've got 2 spares from several seasons ago, instead of charging me the full 100, it didn't. So, anyway guys, thanks for watching. If you are new, please like, comment, subscribe, and this is Tiger signing off, and I'll see you next time. Bye.